Hey everyone, how are you? Ashley Amudzai here, the Psychic Life Coach, and I want to share a video that is very near and dear to my heart, and it's how to heal Hoshimoto's. A little bit about it, not only the physical symptoms and what that looks like, but also from an energetic perspective as well, and my personal journey with it and how I holistically heal and minimize the symptoms of Hoshimoto's. So if you want all of the specific facts, you can Google all of the details and the science behind it. But I am not a doctor, so I'm saying that at the beginning. That's just my personal experience. And as having someone who has Hashimoto's and has had it for many years, I don't take any medication. I do everything that I can holistically. Medication is great if that works for you. So amazing. I feel that these tips would be a benefit as well to continue minimizing those symptoms and then allowing you to truly be your most vibrant self. So, a brief overview of Hashimoto's. First of all, if you guys are hopping on, I want to know where you're from. Do you know someone who has Hashimoto's? Are you someone who personally has it and experiences it? What are your symptoms? What is your story? I'd love to hear from you because I know I'm not alone in this. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I've had so many people reach out to me. Many of you know that I have done holistic health coaching for 7 years now, and people will ask me individually about Hashimoto's and healing your body from the inside out, and so that is why I'm creating this video for you. Hello everyone, I see you popping on. So Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disorder where from a medical perspective, it shows that your body is attacking your thyroid. I really do subscribe to the medical medium, Anthony William. I think he is a genius. He is also a psychic, and he talks about the Epstein-Barr virus, and that is kind of drilling into your thyroid. And with that creates this incredible, crazy upset of symptoms that can feel very, very debilitating. Again, if you have Hashimoto's, let me know below. I don't want to be alone in this. I know I'm not. I don't know the percentage, but so many people have these or have the symptoms I'm about to describe. So I want to share at first, when I started having these symptoms and they were becoming really, really, really profound, my husband would say things like, oh, everyone gets tired around the 3 o'clock lull. Or, it's okay, you just need to sleep more. And he was kind of dusting it off. And that was really offensive to me in the beginning because I'm like, no, this is something different. I know what I am capable of. I know my regular energy level, and I feel freaking exhausted. And so now he knows how crazy it can be. So here's some of the symptoms that I experience. Extreme fatigue is number one. Extreme fatigue, it is debilitating. Some days it's really great and I have all the energy and I don't need to take a nap and I'm happy and excited. Other days I'll be feeling fine and then all of a sudden it's a crash. Like to the point where it's not safe for me to drive. It's this like this cloud that comes over me and my eyes. They'll burn, they'll physically burn as if you stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning. And they'll get really heavy and I can just feel my body melting. And there are times, like I said, it's not safe for me to drive and I feel so bad, like raising a tiny human and I'm like, honey, I'm so sorry. Mommy's gonna take a nap and I'm gonna hold your hand while I sleep because I need this rest. And so again, I'm gonna put my light on. Hi, there you go, forgot about that. So that's number one. And also it'll hit me at certain times of the day. Usually it'll be at 11 o'clock or it will be at like 3 o'clock. And that is a symptom of Hashimoto's as well. It's like the rhythm of your body and it'll come on at certain times. So let me know if you guys are resonating with that. Number two is joint and muscle pain. If I have a really big flare up, then the next thing I know, I am going to be like, it's weird. My knees will ache. My elbows will ache. I feel really crunchy, even though I'm doing all of my self-care practice and I'll be doing yoga. The pain will start to ache. So that's another huge symptom. Poor circulation, feeling cold all of the time. Actually, right next to me is my heater. I would lift it up, but it's pretty big. I have a heater with me all of the time, so I'm usually really cold, and I actually have worked with that by taking cold showers, trying to improve my circulation or walking around without socks on. So I would get used to the cold, but that poor circulation is a symptom of Hashimoto's as well. And it's to the point where, I mean, if it's 90 degrees outside, then it's safe for me to go out without a jacket. But aside from that, it's just like, it's just too cold. The big symptom. Hair loss. Hair loss is where it all started for me. I was like, what in the heck is going on? We have a natural shedding system, but when you have like handfuls that are coming out, that is how I know that my thyroid is just like a pain. It's showing up. And so whenever I fall off track with everything and all of the tools that I'm going to share with you in a little bit, I can tell all these symptoms, they start to creep in. The hair loss, the sleepiness, the feeling really cold. My fingertips will turn different colors. You might actually be able to see it. No, not right now. But my fingertips will turn different colors too because it's so cold. Just living life when everyone else is like, let's turn the air conditioning. And I'm like... Also, depression is a really big one because if you don't have energy to do the things that you know you are capable of doing, that's going to lead to a depression. And energy is like the common thread among all things with productivity and happiness, etc., etc. And so naturally that's going to lead to depression. And I've had many, many times, if you have Hoshimoto's, I know you get it, many times where I'm just crying because I know I have this long checklist of things to do. Presley's in preschool, and I know I have this limited amount of window to accomplish the things, but I'm so tired and I'm just sobbing because I don't know why I can't even keep my eyes open, right? Slowed heart rate is another one. I know for myself personally, I will get like a little bit of an arrhythmia and my heart will start beating a little bit faster, and I'll just be sitting there. I'll just be laying down or sitting and it'll go. So that I kind of have an opposite effect with that. Intestinal issues. It's really important that we bring in probiotics when it comes to the thyroid as well, healing and supporting it with as many probiotics and prebiotics and digestive enzymes as we possibly can, because a lot of our health has to do with our intestinal tract, right? So sometimes that's constipation if you have it, and also weight issues as well. So those are top symptoms. Now let's talk about the energetics of thyroid. So your throat chakra, this is the ability to speak freely and communicate with ease. And so if we have a block in this area, then... I hear you're like, good grief, I have this too. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people do, and they don't realize it. And they think that this is their normal. This is the normal. And no, it doesn't have to be. Like, you deserve to live a vibrant life, and you're fully capable of that. But we do have to be really meticulous, especially if you do have this Epstein-Barr virus, in working and supporting your body through it. So with the energetics of it, it will get caught in your... Okay, I'm going to back up here. We've talked about this before. If you have heartbreak, someone gives you some heartbreaking news, or you get a breakup or something like that, what's going to happen is you're going to feel that in your chest, right? That like, that burning sensation, like acid in your chest. Let me know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Because it freaking hurts. That's an example of something intangible physically manifesting within your tissues. Same thing if you get nervous before you do a Facebook Live, or you give a presentation, or you take a big test. You feel nerves. Where at? In your solar plexus. And that's like the I do and the willpower of your system. Another example of something intangible physically manifesting within your tissues. It's the same thing with the thyroid. If you grew up being seen, you were told to be seen and not heard, guess what? You weren't able to speak your truth, so it's going to be manifesting right here. And another thing with thyroid, it will, again, like I said, it will come in waves. I had an influx of that, a flare-up of this recently, and what I noticed, the trigger point was me questioning myself and second-guessing. Like, I would go to an event, and usually I'm just like happy, and I love everybody, and I want to show up in as much light and sparkle as I possibly can to make sure everyone feels really, really loved at that event. But then, like, within the past few weeks, I would find myself driving home and thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like, did I say enough? Did I do enough? I hope that wasn't offensive. I couldn't really tell by her reaction. I was just questioning. I went on a family trip with my family who I know and love. Like, you can't mess up with your family, especially when they're amazing, right? And I was second guessing myself, like, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. So that is a lack of my communication, even with myself, right? To like live with ease, to have that. So I noticed that was a trigger experience for me, and it started to manifest and activate this thyroid as well. So that's a little bit about the energetics of it. Also, comparing yourself to others will trigger thyroid issues as well, because it doesn't allow, if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, then that tells us that you maybe don't believe fully in your authentic truth and who you are, because it's not enough, because this girl's better, or this guy is better, or stronger, or blah, 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 right? Is it ultimately true? No, it's not. So we're going to rewire and shift that. But if we're comparing ourselves to others, then that can manifest in our thyroid as well and create these blocks and create these triggers. So if you do struggle with thyroid, I do encourage you to track your flare-ups, track the symptoms that you are having, and see if you can identify a trigger point for that. Okay, let's go into the root causes. I talked about the energetics in some of my examples, but number one is nutrition. Nutrition is huge. We want to take out all potentially allergenic and addictive foods like gluten, dairy, soy, corn. I know I have sensitivities to pistachios and cashews and bunch of other things. We want to take those potentially allergenic and addictive foods because they don't serve our body. A lot of them are processed. The GMOs, the processing of how it's all done does not serve our body. So, I have an entire program built around that if you were looking for support on that holistic nutrition aspect and avenue. So number one, check out the food that you are eating. If you're eating gluten especially, it's probably going to make you feel like crap. And if you're eating dairy as well, like you're probably going to have some symptoms there as well, especially if you have a sensitive thyroid and digestive system. Emotional stress. This is a huge, huge trigger. If you are stressed, your adrenals are going to be shot, your thyroid, everything. Because when you are stressed, it creates the cortisol in your body, and that's going to create more inflammation. Inflammation is the core to all disease. So we want to eliminate that. I used to live a highly, highly chronically stressful life. And now, in order to honor my body, and it's for my health and my mental sanity as well, I say no more often. I say no more often. And my friends know that I love them, but I don't have to show up to every birthday, every baby shower, every wedding, every this, every that, because I will get overwhelmed and I cannot do that to myself or my body. Like saying no is a form of self-respect. Doesn't mean you love yourself or them any more, any less. It just means that you're setting boundaries for your health. Because if you have, I'm the queen of this, I've got 5 events on my chill Sunday, and then I'm just like stressed out and I didn't even get to do anything that I wanted to do, because bouncing around trying to serve everybody else. That creates stress. And also it doesn't leave you available for self-care and your self-love practice. Also, nutrient deficiencies are really important to maintain as well. So like in the winter, if you get the seasonal affected disorder, SAD, like I definitely do. I am so affected by the winter. If it is gloomy outside, I just need a hug. But right now it's summer, so it's good. But taking vitamin D and magnesium, I highly recommend that you see a nutritionist or a holistic practitioner of some sort. See a doctor if that suits you as well. I do have wonderful, magnificent recommendations because I have people who I work with myself who have helped me in a million ways. But I love to muscle test all of my products and my supplements before I use them. So here are some of the ones that I personally use from one of my practitioners. If you're interested, drop your name. I will send you her direct information. I have 2 of them who are just amazing. But, okay, I brought this one because it really does help, but I don't like it because it tastes nasty, but it does help. So, deficiencies. Let's talk about magnesium. That's a good one. Vitamin D. I have these supplements right here that I got from Premier Research Labs. Again, I am muscle tested for these. If you are looking to be muscle tested for the right supplements for you, drop a link or drop a little comment below, a heart, an emoji, and we'll get connected because I can muscle test you and I have another practitioner who can do it distance as well. So this one is Xenostat and Thyroid, and it's just all like, okay, look at this one. Kelp, garlic, maca, bladderwrack. Just all herbs is what it is. But they really, really do help. And again, I muscle test really high for these. Also, this was adaptogen, which really helps with adrenals as well. So these are just a few. I take a few others to support me as well. But if you want more supplement stuff, let me know. I also take, you guys know I do Arbonne. I've done Arbonne for 7 years. It muscle tests really high, and they're just the best of the best products. I do believe in that. So this is a whole food blend that I started taking as well, just to make sure that I don't have any nutrient deficiencies. I can mix this in with my shake, and I feel really supported. Also, the Fizzy Stick, again, you guys know that these Fizzy Sticks are absolutely amazing. And I took these into my doctor because he told me, you do officially have Hoshimoto's, and I want to take a medication. So I showed him these Fizzy Sticks, and it has green tea, B vitamins, rhodiola, and all of this is for mental clarity and alertness, and it muscle tests so high for everyone. If you guys have questions about muscle testing, drop it below so I can make sure that I answer it, because I'd love to do another class on that. But if I muscle test somebody's thyroid, oh my gosh, it makes their body so strong. They're right here, everywhere. This totally does it. And this is like my secret supplement that gets me going through the day instead of taking medication. So A few other things. This is the one I was going to tell you about. Because with Hashimoto's, I love to do plant-based everything. And I was told to do a fat, like an animal fat in the morning. And I don't do butter because it's dairy. So this one is a fermented cod liver oil, which is like so gross. But it does help if I take it in the morning. So if you guys would like some information on that, again, drop a question below and I'll fulfill that. What else? Oh, other root causes. Again, intestinal issues, and constipation is a really big one. So if you are not going to the bathroom regularly, that's a pretty big deal. If you're not going to the bathroom regularly, then what's happening is that food is getting compacted in your intestines. And what happens if we don't take the trash out? If we don't take the trash out, it starts to ferment and putrefy, and toxins start leaking into your bloodstream and wreaking havoc. So what happens if we don't take trash out? It starts to stink. And if we do it in our system, if we're not continuing to eliminate, then that's going to putrefy and leak toxins into our bloodstream. So it's really important that you're at least minimum having 1 bowel movement a day, if not 2, sometimes 3 if you're plant-based and you drink these fizzy sticks because they are like a tummy flattener. So want to encourage you to do that as well, because that's another cause of Hashimoto's. Like if you're not going to the bathroom regularly, it's creating more and more issues within your body. So hang tight. We're getting to some of the juicy parts, which are my favorite of how I holistically really will handle Hashimoto's. So mentally, this is key. This is life-changing 100%. When you have Hashimoto's, and I know this firsthand, I have had a conversation with my body of like, why are you doing this? Why can't you work? Why? Me. I just get really angry at my body. You know, we do this a lot, men or women, looking in the mirror and we'll say, well, you have this wrinkle here and this lump and this roll and blah, blah, blah. And instead of here's us and then here's our body, and instead of us loving her or him, we see it as something separate. And we hate on her. I'm going to use a her, right? We hate on her. You're ugly. You're fucking fat. You're this. You're that. You're not healing. Why are you so tired? What if if this was your best friend, she wouldn't be your best friend much longer, right? We wouldn't treat our best friend that way, so why would we treat our body that way? We shouldn't. We need to do whatever it takes to be on the same team. So shifting your mindset from why are you doing this, X, Y, and Z, we need to shift the mindset to, body, I love you so much. What is it that you need today? How can I support you today? And when we're on the same team, you're going to feel so much more in flow and so much more aligned. It's incredibly powerful. This goes across the board in all of the things, whether it's like eating disorders or working out, losing weight, anything. You got to be on the same team as your body, because she's not going to want to even be on your team if you're going to be an ass, right? So be on the same team. Also, your body wants to heal. Think about it. If you cut your hand and you cut your finger and you have a cut, you don't have to ask your body to heal. You don't have to hyper focus and obsess about it. You don't have to block that time in to make sure that it heals. No, it just heals itself because your body wants to heal. It wants to be in homeostasis. It wants to work for you. So if we're keeping her separate and we're being a jerk, that's not helping anything, right? So think about it also with Hashimoto. She is working for you. She's on the same team. So stand by her as you conquer this. Other tools. Sleep 7 to 8 hours. I know I want to be a part of the 5 a.m. club, and that's great, and I love waking up early, but most of the time I go to bed later, so I'm getting like 6 hours of sleep. But if you get 7 to 8, it gives your body enough time to heal and regenerate throughout the night. Also, when I like to do intermittent fasting. And by that, it's nothing super extreme, but I like to be done eating my food at 5 o'clock. 5:30ish at the latest, and then I don't eat until I wake up in the morning. And the reason I do that is because if I stop eating at 5:30 or like 6 o'clock, then it gives my body time to digest the food. So the food is pretty much digested before 9 o'clock when I go to bed, right? So then from 9 o'clock till 7 o'clock in the morning, and I don't usually eat till like 9 or 10-ish, the whole time my body can focus not on digesting the food, but on healing my body, on releasing the toxins, on letting go. So intermittent fasting is an amazing tool if you guys want to lose weight, but also it's why like biblically they talk about fasting as well, and so many different religions, the importance of fasting. So it's a really beautiful tool that I love to use to help with my Hoshimoto's as well, because then my body can focus on healing rather than digesting, because I've just like thrown in all of this food. Also, I don't snack throughout the day, because every time you eat food, your body's like spitting out gastric juices. And so if it's like digesting the food and then it spits out all of the digestive juices and it's breaking it down, and then 10-15 minutes later you put something else in, it's like, oh my gosh, okay, and it's doing it again. Does that make sense? Kind of exaggeration, but it's really how it is. But if you eat like your meals during the day and you have bigger breaks in between, that's going to be a huge help, so your body can continue digesting the food, use the proper amount of digestive juices to break it down, and that's how you kind of set it on track. Also, okay, first thing in the morning, what I do, I wake up and from a nutrition standpoint, and I will do warm lemon water. So my mason jar is right here, and so I have a fizzy stick in here right now, but this is pretty big. I'll try to drink a whole thing of this with warm lemon water, or I'll do detox tea, so half cold water, half warm water, and then I'll put like a bag or two of tea in here. My goal is to drink this first thing in the morning. It's gonna wake up the thyroid. It's been, working all night. It's going to wake up the body very gently. And then the next thing I do is celery juice. If I can, because sometimes, a little bit crooked. I will do, celery juice. Now, the medical medium, I know I talk about him a lot because I really do respect his work, and it has worked for me. So I definitely recommend getting his books by Anthony William. I can post a link below if you guys are interested, or he's pretty popular. I'm sure you could find him. He also has a specific book on thyroid healing. And Anthony William talks specifically about celery juice and all of the details and the science behind it, but it does really help. So I'll do one bunch in the morning and I'll juice it. You want to do it on an empty stomach. So you have lemon water, detox tea, and then you'll do your celery juice, and it really does help. First of all, it's like empowering to know that, yes, I'm doing something really good for my body. I haven't lost control and I started binging on cookies in the morning. Instead, I'm doing celery. Good. Connection back. So I do that, and then I will have my healthy fat. So that will usually be this cod liver oil, for example, and I'll do that with maybe a little tiny bit of honey. And then I have my fizzy stick. As I mentioned before, fizzy stick has the B vitamins and the rhodiola and the green tea. It's so good for your body. And then from there, I'll have a healthy meal. Now, shake in the morning. So you want to have a balanced shake. I love to do everything as plant-based as possible. So for me, I love to start with a green shake. When it's a shake, everything is blended up already. The cell walls of the spinach or the kale or the fruits and the vegetables, the cell walls are broken. Now all your body, instead of having to break it down like a piece of chicken, right? Takes a lot of like acid to break that down, but instead your body doesn't have to work so hard first thing in the morning. You don't want to jump out of bed and be expected to run a marathon. No, wake up gently, like love and honor your body. So when we do a protein shake, it allows us to just absorb this life energy food that is powered by the sun, powered by the soil. So in my shakes, I'll do separate videos on how I make my shakes. But in summary, I do spinach or kale, a vegan protein powder. You guys know I use the Arbonne protein powder. It tests really high and it's amazing and it tastes really good. I do cucumber, I do parsley, I do this whole blend right here, and fiber, blueberries, wild blueberries, and I'll do avocado or a nut butter or something like that. So lots of different options, but making that shake hormonally balanced so your body feels full, and also it will satisfied, I should say, and also it's just nutrient dense. This is a beautiful way to honor your body, but you are including that fat as well. We did talk about supplements, and now let's talk about more like the woo-woo spiritual sides of it. And healing your Hashimoto's is visualizations. I know I am so passionate about my business and supporting my clients and creating videos like this for you guys, but if I am tired and exhausted, I am not able to be at my full potential. So what I will do is wake up in the morning, and the first thing I do is to visualize my day going exactly as planned. What would it look like if you had all the energy in the world to do all of the things, right? Like I dropped Presley off at preschool, and this was my thought. I was driving home and I was like, man, I can't wait to pick her up, and I want to just grab a treat and go on a picnic with her after school. My second thought was, damn, I hope that I have enough energy to do that. And then in that moment, because that's what happens, that's what tends to happen, is like my Hoshimoto's will just like crash me down, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But instead, I'm going to rewire that thought, because is that ultimately true? No, it doesn't have to be. And then I visualized myself picking her up and having so much energy, and I'm like, hey, you know, like happy, excited mommy that I know I'm capable of being. So those visualizations are so, so powerful, but start first thing in the morning. Or if you see that you have a negative loop that's playing, shift it with a visualization of it becoming, like visualizing it awesome instead of visualizing and affirming it's gonna suck. You're not gonna have enough energy, or you're gonna be too tired, or X, Y, and Z. Springing out of bed. That's another one. Sometimes I do need to take a nap because I'm so tired. This is not an excuse. Again, if you guys have Hashimoto's, you get it, but it's like, ugh, so exhausting. What I'll do, I'll set my timer for 15 or 20 minutes. And then as I'm laying there and as I'm closing my eyes, I remind myself and I visualize, I'm so excited. I'm going to take this 15-minute reboot, and then what I'm going to do is spring out of bed and do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to clean the house for 30 minutes, or I'm going to create content for 40 minutes. And so I set that plan in advance and I visualize it happening for me. There are lots and lots of studies that support this, the power of visualization. Like your mind, and I need to get this exact study because I heard it from a third person. I need to find it for you guys, but it was something about people working out, a certain amount of people who were working out, and these group A actually did a workout and they gained like 33% body mass or muscle mass or something like that. The other people, they didn't lift any weights, but they did the exact workout in their head and they gained 22% muscle mass or something crazy like that. And it was just this unbelievable, totally believable study, because the power of your mind, you can do anything. You just have to train that. So visualization is huge. And visualizing the flow of the day and future cast. So I have one of my very, very best friends. I future cast with her pretty much every day or as often as we can. And it's just, I send her a quick Voxer and it's saying, oh my gosh, I am so happy. And I'll future cast like maybe it's a month from now or 2 weeks and say, I have so much energy. Like I'm leaping with energy. I can't wait to go for a run. I'm so excited to play with Presley. Like I have more energy than I ever thought I could possibly have. And my hair looks freaking great because it's not falling out. So I'm visualizing all this amazingness. And so it is. Because if you believe it, then you can achieve it. And whatever you can imagine, so it is, and it can be true. That's the power of manifestation. Anything can happen. Anything will happen if you hold it in your mind, in your mind's eye long enough. Self-care practice. Now what I also do, because there's your body, your mind, and your spirit. There's a separation there, right? Now we really got to take care of your body as well. So I love my self-care practice, and that means before, like when I wake up, but especially when I go before bed, I might take a bath, I will exfoliate, I will dry brush, I will do a face mask, I will massage my hands. There's a lot of EMFs. They work a lot on my computer. When I do that, I need to ring out those EMFs, the electromagnetic frequencies that are coming from my computer. I need to clean them out. So I'll do that. So massage my hands, massage my feet. I use oil. Arbonne has an amazing oil that I love. I'll do that. I also will massage my ears. I forgot what this is called, but they have different types of like ear massage. And my husband actually taught me this, that it's like an energy booster. If you massage them and like fold your ears, as silly as that sounds, but it really does work. If you're tired, just massage your ears. And before bed as well. And then right here, I feel a lot of buildup. So I'll like use my oil and I'll very intentionally massage this out. And I feel like density right here, because what's happening is you have a lot of stagnant energy in your space, whether it's like stinky belief systems or trauma or just feeling crunchy from the day. Massage it out and then take a bath and let that relax. Like your body needs you to support it. She needs you to stand by her. She doesn't need you saying more shitty things to her and about her, right? So love her, give her a massage. Breath work is another huge one. Even before I did this Facebook Live, I did a few Kundalini breaths, or even just square breaths where you are inhaling. We'll start inhaling with gratitude, love, light, and abundance, everything that our beautiful world has to offer to us, breathing that in, letting that golden swirl of light fill our bodies, and then releasing any tension through the exhale, whatever that looks like for you. But that, like, breath work is so amazing. There are lots of different ways for you to do it. You can look up different Kundalini breath exercises. I heard one where you like do your hands like this. I'm like, okay, let's do it. But it does help because with breath, it brings flow. And you can go days without food or water. You cannot go more than a few minutes without oxygen. That's how important it is. So be sure to include that in your practice as well. Also, yoga, stretching if you can, that really helps me as well. For some reason, it just helps me feel more relaxed, so I have better sleep, and my body is just working more optimally. And then lastly is grounding. Grounding is a huge tool. I will go in my backyard, take off my shoes and my socks, and I will just like sit there with my feet on the ground. Mother Nature is so healing. Mama Gaia, she is here for you. And just like with like manure, right? It goes into the earth and then it is recycled into something so beautiful. It's fertilizer for beautiful flowers to blossom. So she wants you to shed what no longer serves you. She wants you to release that. And again, with the EMFs in our, even if you don't have any computers or any phone around you all day, there's still cell towers, there's still Wi-Fi all around us. Like, we are constantly being bombarded with this toxic load. And even like gasoline, if you can smell gasoline at the pump, it's already in your head. This toxic overload is huge in our body. She wants to heal. So the other day I went to the park and I just laid down and looked up at the trees and I just was breathing with almost like this heartbeat. I can tune into it again. Like breathing with the heartbeat of Mother Nature. So allow her to, lots of science around this too. Just Google grounding. You'll see so many amazing things, like scientific studies that are supporting this. Just having your feet in the sand, in the dirt, on the grass is another healing tool. And when I did that the other day at the park, I got up and I felt perfectly fine. I was like, thank you. Thank you, grass. Thank you, trees. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found some valuable tips that you can implement in your life today to improve your life tomorrow. I love you guys so much. Again, this is Ashley Amudzai, the Psychic Life Coach, and I'll see you next time. Bye.